Welcome to Body of Christ Real Talk. Your host, Joseph Brownlee. Welcome to the show. 15 minutes of very important, relevant topics. I think so anyway. Everybody else might not think so. They listen to the show, but I think so. So let's give it a shot. If you're interested, go ahead and listen. If not, you can just move on and whatever like that. No love lost. But thank you for tuning in. This is Body of Christ Real Talk with your host, Joseph Brownlee. What I'm going to be talking about in the next few days is health and obesity. Health and obesity. I know I usually do that on the Super Saturdays that I call it, and I talk about my health updates and other things that's going on in health, mainly my updates. But I want to just trigger a little series on health causes, or just put it this way, food that causes health problems, or that's even causing past and present tense and future tense for most people. Food that causes health problems. Now, I'm not going to be naming out foods, but I just want to give you two foods: sugar and ultra-processed foods. Sugar is very simple. Ultra-processed food is a wide variety of junk, poison food. And what I'm going to be calling this series, off and on, I'm not going to do it every night. Give myself a break and things like that. And I don't know how long, off and on, I'll be talking about this. I will keep you on updates about my health, which I'm going to talk a little bit about today. The pros and the cons. I like to talk about both of them. But I don't want to keep it on me. I want you to hear other people's testimonies and what's going in their life, that people that have been on the no meat diet like myself or a little. Now, let me say this first. There's this diet called the carnivore diet, which means no carbs, period. Did I say no meat? That was an error. I meant no carbs. No carb diet. Now, that's what I'm on. But to be honest with you, my diet is not for carnivore. Why? Because even some meats got about 1 or 2 grams of carbs in it that I eat. Okay? So, and sometimes mix that in with the liquids that I consume. They might have about 1 or 2 carbs, but just say from 0 to 3 carbs, or 0 to 5 carbs, I might consume, through the 10 months on this diet. So a lot of carnivores will not call that a carnivore, but you guys is not the gods of carnivore. And you might think you carnivore police, but I don't go by what everybody think I should be doing or what I need to be stopping. I do what I think is best for my body. And that's what you have to do if you're going on any type of diet, especially when I ain't going to say any, but because I don't talk about the other diets. Not because they're bad, but I just talk about the ones that's been best for me, whether it's a low carb or no carb. Now, any diet that you on that eliminates 80% of carbs, ultra processed carbs especially, is a great start. It's a super start. Let me say this again. Any diet that you're on, so let's just stick with the low carb. Any diet that consumes 20% of carbs, good carbs. Listen closely to good carbs. What are good carbs? Like some vegetables, even some fruits for some keto lovers or something like that, and sugar-free drinks and stuff like that, that's allowed. Even certain sweeteners, that's allowed on certain keto diets, okay? And anything that's eliminated sugar, period. Fructose, glucose, all that other cold stuff. And ultra-processed foods. Now, I'm going to give you a little definition of my understanding of ultra-processed food. Okay? And for the listeners that didn't tune in, I opened up about, different, conditions people have is because of the diet and the food. Not all, but a big chunk of it is because of our diet, especially here in America. Different ailments, conditions, even Alzheimer's and dementia has a big food damage. I call it food damage. because food can damage your brain. Ultra processed food, I'm talking about. I'm gonna talk about later on down the line about the benefits of meat, and you cannot get no better nutritional benefits than consuming meat products. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can debate that all you want to, and you won't know until you just test it yourself. So just saying it's not good enough, or say what your doctor says it's not good enough. You have to placebo it. You have to be the placebo tester yourself. You have to test this yourself to see what I'm talking about. It's nothing like, you know, plus put on the placebo test on yourself to see how this lifestyle works. You know, but the name of this series that I'm going to be titling when you see my show would be "The Food That I Love Was Killing Me." I know I'm jumping everywhere. That's how I do. I guess it's autism in me. The food that I loved was killing me. And I will be giving you a few things of my life, what I have been eating. You probably was too, and especially in the black community. We basically ate a lot of the same things, you know, in the lower class, and I'm not so much the poor because I wasn't poor, but the more middle class to lower class black community, how we ate. And it was more than just fried chicken, stereotype fried chicken. But I'm not going to make this a black or white thing. I just want to let people know that, you know, growing up, what I have consumed all those years was the majority of ultra processed food. And of course, they got worse as I got older. They started putting more poison in it. I can't even pronounce the things they put in that stuff, but I just say poison. And the reason I'm giving this title, and this is the title that I want to give it, "The Food That I Love Was Killing Me," and the food that you love was probably killing you too, no doubt. It doesn't mean, you know, you ate an apple, you're going to die. I'm not talking about that. Remember when Adam and Eve ate that fruit that brung death, but they didn't die overnight. Adam lived over 900 and something years old. So we grew up thinking that people died right away, but things can kill you and you can live to 80 years old. But it kills and destroys so many things in your body. Then some people it kills even sooner. And I'm talking about food. So let's get that straight. When I say the food that I love was killing me, doesn't mean it happened overnight or it's going to kill me, period. My point is, some killing and some death, when something that's killing you, sometimes takes years. But it depends on your genes and your body. And the dangers of ultra processed food and sugar is one of them. The trick of it and the danger and the trick of this is most people always look at the obese and overweight people. They look at the tangible, how an overweight person or somebody breaking out with rashes and stuff like that as a sign of bad food or allergic reactions to certain foods and even certain meats and fishes, you know. But what started that? Why do some people have allergic reactions to fish and, you know, and different pork and stuff like that? And I'm not talking about religious reasons, not to eat pork, you know. But they have a certain allergic reaction to certain foods. That I know. I'm going to look into that myself. But, man, it can have something to do. This is just my little theory. It can have something to do of what they put in the foods that set off certain things in certain people's bodies that make them allergic to fish and pork. I don't doubt that at all. Because it doesn't happen to everybody. It's just certain people that sets them off. Even certain seasonings set people off. Some people have asthma. Some people have seizures. Some people break out with rashes. Some people swell up. You know, but they do that around animals too. But it's something that started that. That kicks it out when I'm talking about food. So let me stay on topic when it talks about food. Why do some people allergic to certain things? I believe it's what was put in it. I really do. Because, as things got worse and things was just injected in things, whatever like that, I think it just bothers some people more than others. I still believe it has something to do. This is just my belief of what they put in it. But I have no doubt about it. That's just some meats and fishes. I have no doubt about it when it comes to certain ultra processed foods, even some vegetables, since it's been tampered with by man. Not the ultra processed food, that's just made Franken food. But I'm talking about certain vegetables or even certain fruits that was tempered by man has a bad effect on most of our bodies. Besides gastritis and stuff like that. My fiance said a while ago, and she said she haven't noticed. It's been a while since she had a gastritic attack because she suffered from a lot of gastritis, but not lately. Since I was telling her and talking to her about eating certain meats and vegetables, like vegetables and decent stuff like that. Since she's been doing it, she never even brought up gastritis. And she said she haven't. So that's a sign. That's why I say what I'm talking about. I'm not telling nobody to go on a carnivore. I'm not telling nobody to go on a keto, but I'm just saying try it. Especially if you're real obese and you having health problems. What do you got to lose? It's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you no faster than what you eat now. If that's the way to say that. But my point is, if you're struggling now with your health, not so much, it ain't got to be overweight all the time, but if you're just struggling now with your health, why not? And you try so many diets. I don't like to use the term everybody else. Nobody never tried every diet. It's thousands and thousands of diets out there. But if you try a lot of diets and they have not worked, the first thing you must understand, it doesn't mean it was a diet all the time. It just might be you. You have a lack of willpower. Don't stick with things. That's just real talk. So you can't blame the diet all the time, especially if you tried hundreds of diets. You cannot tell me every diet failed you. You have to fail some diets yourself, so you have to be honest with yourself. That's the first thing you must have to admit. You hear many people, I tried every diet and all the diets failed. All the diets did not fail you. I believe some of those diets you gave up. You just didn't stick with it. Maybe because it wasn't for you anyway. It doesn't mean the diet failed. It just wasn't for you. Or you just didn't stick with it. You just gave up. Okay? So let's get that out the way. You must be honest with yourself. So when you start a low carb or a no carb, I'm going to get into that later on down the road. I'm talking about other things, but so this is going to be off and on of the food that I love was killing me. I want to talk about, my talking points is going to be mainly on bad foods. That's what I'm going to start off with. And some people say, well, it doesn't bother me, but that does not mean it's not bad. You see what I'm saying? Because it does not bother you. Some people, you don't get sick as other people or whatever like that. Depends on your checkup, on your physicals, whatever like that. It might be bothering you silently most of the time, and you don't know it. But either way it go, if it's not bothering you, it's still hurting you. It's still not good for your body. Even if you're not sick, does not make the ultra-processed food good. Just like because something tastes good, don't make it good. See, and because something tastes bad doesn't make it bad. You see what I'm saying? So we have to reset our mind. First of all, when it comes to a lifestyle change, when it comes to the low carb or the no carb lifestyle diet, I will be getting more into that. You guys do not want to miss that. I will be listening to a few audio clips of people's testimonies and everything like that. Not a lot, but I will be doing some because there's a lot of super, super outstanding testimonies that people have accomplished cutting carbs, carnivore or keto, cutting their carbs, how their body has transformed, like mine's, without any hard effort at all. Lack of exercise at all, without exercise at all. So I'll be talking about different things like that, but I'm going to get into more of the bad, ultra-processed food. This might upset some people, but it's for your health. God bless you. Peace out. Real talk, health talk for Joseph Brownlee.